Hi, I'm Phil Venables, partner at Ballistic Ventures, and I'm really pleased today to be with Aviv Nahum, who's the CEO and founder of Above Security. So we at Ballistic Ventures are in the process of leading the Series A investment in Above, a total round of 35 million. So Aviv, it's great to be partnering with you. Wonderful business, wonderful space. Why don't you kind of talk us through how you founded the company, how you think about this, the experience so far?
First, we're incredibly excited to be launching Above alongside Ballistic, Merlin Ventures and Norwest Ventures. For me personally, for us, for the entire company, this is a deeply intentional company. I previously built and sold the company in the agentic space, and Amir, my co-founder and CTO, was the first VP R&D at Silverfort. He helped build identity security into what became a unicorn. We've both built security platforms before, and we started Above because we saw one category that was clearly broken, which is insider risk. Insider risk is fundamentally behavioral.
Few organizations historically have been able to afford to build and operate a world-class insider risk management team. But with Above Security, we think everybody is going to get the effect of a highly trained AI capability that can deliver this effect. And not only is this about delivery on day one, in fact, most customers have been up and running in minutes to hours, finding latent issues that were vital to resolve. But it's also about the efficiency and automatic ongoing tuning that takes almost no effort from the company.
Historically, insider risk has been almost impossible to operationalize. Everyone knew it was expensive. Everyone knew it was dangerous, but only highly regulated banks or intelligence level organizations could really afford to run serious insider risk programs. It's just because insider risk required investigators, and it required judgment, and it required context. And the industry tried to replace it with rules and DLP, next-gen DLP, UEBA, you name it, all of those acronyms, all of them rely on predefined logic. So rules, thresholds, anomaly scoring, configurations. But humans never live inside static rules. Behavior changes, intent changes, pressure changes, especially nowadays.
One of the things I've found really interesting in talking to CISOs about this space is actually just how both frustrated they are with the current approaches, as you described, and how excited they are about having a new approach. And there are many tools out there that give you like the breadcrumbs of suspicious activity, but they don't give you the full picture. And what we really loved about Above Security is this ability to take a wide-ranging set of sensory capabilities and using AI to build that complete narrative of activities that are inherently high fidelity. Above Security also has taken great lengths to make sure there's near zero false positives, which also enables highly reliable risk ranking of the true positives. So it lets teams efficiently respond to the right events in the right way.
And this is why we are seeing that, the AI agent investigators, this is where they change the entire game. Our agents continuously analyze who the user is, what's normal for them, what changed, whether it's negligent, malicious, coerced, or just harmless, which is, to be honest, what we're seeing the most. Instead of alerts, as you mentioned, we generate full-blown investigation-ready narratives.
And it's not just the traditional view of insider risk where perhaps you want to look for previously trusted people that have now gone bad, but it's also more about infiltrators, fake workers, innocent employees being duped or coerced into activities that can harm the enterprise.
We turn those CISOs who beforehand tried to collect breadcrumbs from here and there and try to make sense of something into the champions in front of legal and HR. They walk into the conversations with those clean timelines, the contextual reasoning, and the defensible decisions. They're leading the conversation rather than being approached by HR and legal. They are approaching HR and legal and being proactive about it. And that's exactly what modern insider risk should look like, right? We surface the context, we understand what happened, why it happened, and we don't just detect after something happens. We try to operate proactively. When risky behavior is forming, not after the damage, we intervene. We provide real-time, contextual, inline coaching, which are not blocking by design. They are not heavy-handed enforcement, rather intelligent guidance in the moment. Are you sure you want to do this? Here is why this may violate policy. Here is a safer path. And that's what turns insider risk from reactive forensics into proactive behavioral guidance.
Are you finding already in customers that is a big factor of why they get so much value out of this?
I would argue this is the sole reason why we started Above Security. If there were to be no AI agents in the world, I think there would be no justification for a new company in Insider Risk to take shape and to start in 2026, because it would try again to do something that has failed before, which is to apply rules and configurations into human behavior. And this is exactly what makes Above fundamentally different, is that we didn't just automate detection. We built a fleet of those self-learning investigative agents, and we created the fleet of sub-agents. And each agent has a so-called use case that he relies on, or so-called infringement that he aims to find. Everything you can think of, all the way from harassment and discrimination, data exfiltration, shadow AI, shadow IT, everything that is now a concern for insider risk is what the agents aim to continuously observe the behavior across the entire identity, applications, data movement, and workflow context. And this is exactly what's amazing about what we've built, that the agents build evolving behavioral narratives. They learn what is normal and not globally, which is what has been historically been tried, but for each individual, each team, and each role. And that learning is super dynamic. And if someone changes projects, gets promoted, starts working different hours, the system adapts, just like humans adapt, and they have the entire context. We don't just freeze behavior into a baseline and then alert when it deviates. We continuously re-reason about it. The agent asks the questions in real time during investigations. Is this behavior consistent with this user's historical intent? Is this a meaningful shift? Is it just a harmless variation? Does this pattern resemble negligence, malice, coercion, simply workload change? It's very different from anomaly scoring. An anomaly just says, that's different. Our agents say, this is different, and here is why, and if it matters at all.
This is, where I think in any other space of cybersecurity or risk management, there's just like so many ways of solving the problem, and CISOs are overwhelmed with solutions. But what's been fascinating in this space is just how little innovation there has been, and now how ready they are for something that's new.